Come on, 2, 3.
Well, good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Monday, May 2nd, 2022. And our top story today, we're going to take a look at the Women's National Football Conference Championship weekend. And joining me now to discuss this and a lot more, Janice Masters is with the Women's National Football Conference. Janice, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Absolutely appreciate you having me, Jeffrey, and excited to be here to talk about the WNFC.
Absolutely. I'm excited about this because I think there's a lot of different things we're going to cover during the interview. Of course, we're going to talk about the championship weekend, but also women's empowerment and how women can move forward in sports. Let's start off with just some basics here, just for the audience who may not know. What or who is the Women's National Football Conference?
Yeah, the Women's National Football Conference exists to give women and girls really the empowerment to play in the most competitive football environment in the country. And right now, our goal and my goal in the commissioner's office is just to make sure that these women have a safe and competitive environment and fair space to play the game that they love. And we're really, we've built and are moving forward with just putting the best version of women's football out there, and we're excited. Have some really good things happening this year, and in the works for next. So a lot of things to come.
Yeah, and so some of our audience, I don't know why they wouldn't, but they may not be familiar with your league. But let's talk about these amazing female athletes. So who are they? Where do they come from? Do they, for example, come from the college ranks? Maybe they played sports in college, or or high school.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. First of all, we have a wide variety of female athletes within the league. Everyone from moms and doctors and attorneys and homemakers. Every walk of life we have here, and we support that. The majority of our athletes do play college sports at some level, whether that's basketball, volleyball, softball. Just depends on the background. Soccer. But the majority of our athletes don't get to play tackle football until they're a little bit older, at that age level where they're starting to learn something new. For myself, I didn't find tackle football until after college. So learning a new sport at 23 was exciting to me. And it also, because I was a little older, made me appreciate more of the details about it and so forth. So like me, a lot of the women went through high school and college playing other sports, and then found football later on and sort of took over from there.
Yeah, and I wonder if there's women's rugby teams. I went to school many years ago, but at my school, undergraduate, we had a women's rugby team. So I think it's probably if you play rugby, probably a rather easier transition because you're familiar with the kind of the tackling or however you describe it.
Yeah, that physicality. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have
ahead,
some athletes. Yeah, we do have some athletes that have a background in rugby, and from a tackling perspective, it's someone who definitely has that experience with generally hitting, a lot of other sports in our world growing up. Basketball, there's some collisions and things like that, but it's not full contact, full tackle. So it's once you put the pads and helmet on, it's a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, the rugby athletes in general, they don't wear the same padding that, at least when I watch it, especially the professionals in Australia, they don't wear the same padding. So I think they're a lot tougher. Let's talk a little bit about where you're going to be playing June 25th, 26th. Championship weekend. It's in Frisco, Texas at the Star. This is pretty cool because you're actually playing at the practice facility on the practice location where the Dallas Cowboys, the NFL franchise, plays. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Every year we host the 9 Cup, and basically we bring a weekend of celebration for women's sports and athletics. We bring some high school all-stars to have a tournament there as well. but it's really showcasing our athletes, our coaches, our owners, and the people who really made the season happen. And it's more than just a championship game. We've really turned it into one of the largest events, in women's sports. To be honest, we do everything from a fan fest that's been popular last year. We had a great time at the fan fest. So we'll have all of those events similar to what we did prior this year in Frisco, Texas. We're excited to have it at the Star. We've made some great relationships with the sports academy there and with some of the people at the Star. And so they've welcomed us. And, it's going to be a great event, going to be a very good event. Kicks off Friday with Got Her Back Gala and really showcasing the nonprofit that we're working with. And, we'll have some awards to give away there and thank you to our sponsors and people. It should be a great event. And then Saturday we start with a fan fest. I'll be hosting a brunch and we'll have a media kickoff type thing at the fan fest, which will be awesome. And then Saturday's all games. We have our high school all-star tournament, and then we have our all-star, our all-pro game for the WNFC athletes, and then our championship. So jam-packed weekend of fun. Will be a great event. Super lucky and grateful to have it at the Star.
The event, the weekend coincides with I think a celebration of Title IX, which is explain that, exactly what that is and why that's important and why you aligned the weekend with that important provision.
Yeah, it'd be the 50th anniversary, and certainly with everything happening in the world and things that have happened over the past 50 years with women's sports, I think it's a perfect time, and the alignment of it was coincidental. And we purposely wanted to make sure that we recognize Title IX and the significance of it. So there will be some things throughout the weekend that we can, start to recognize and mention. And really the growth of women's athletics over the past 50 years and prior to that, tackle football, women's tackle football is not new. They've been playing women's tackle football for several years now. And you look back in the books of the Toledo Troopers, and there's some other teams out there that have been playing longer than that. So, it's just a very nice way to bring everything together in one event, celebrate women's sports, celebrate the 50th anniversary of Title IX, and, looking forward to showcasing some of that.
Well, Janice, I need to take a very quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Women's National Football Conference Championship, the week of June 25th and 26th, and how you can get involved and check it out. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Are you stuck with a low credit score? A credit report and score that's causing you to be denied credit or pay higher interest rates than others for the same things? Then do what Terrence did and call Credit Repaired for your free credit evaluation to help restore your credit.
I started thinking about buying a new house, and my score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Just one call for his free credit evaluation was all it took to start back on the track to repairing his credit.
I'm seeing the deletions and I'm getting the report, so I know something's being done. It does make a difference to me.
All it takes is one call to get started.
Credit Repair has given me a second chance to have a better credit score.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back another day. Do what Terrence did and make the call for your free credit evaluation.
Call 800-819-4152. That's 800-819-4152. Again, 800-819-4152.
Welcome back. We're talking this morning to Janice Masters of the Women's National Football Conference. Janice, thanks so much for sticking around with us this morning.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me.
This is about as close as I'll ever get to being a sports broadcaster, by the way, so I'm really excited about this. Obviously watch a lot of sports, and so this is kind of a personal dream of mine. But let's talk about, you mentioned Title IX, the significance of that, the 50th anniversary, the milestones. Many Americans sitting out there watching our interview, how can they get involved with the Women's National Football Conference and supporting women and girls in football, but also sports?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing I would say for us is we currently have 17 teams this season throughout the country, and with an 18th coming next year in Nashville. We're all over the country, from Los Angeles to Philadelphia and Dallas, Texas. And so, there's a place for you. And if you go on our website, WNFCfootball.com, you can find the team closest to you. And if there's not a team close to you, what you can do is email us at info@WNFCfootball.com. That will come to the admin team here and, certainly get you involved where we can help you find a spot. But, we're always looking for volunteers, especially 9 Cup weekends. We're looking for volunteers. There's a lot of events going on. We're happy to have the help. But, locally, there's probably a team somewhere around you that can do the same, looking for volunteers on game day or helping out. And then in general, I would just say, let them play, right? My niece is 14 years old. She wants to play football, and I am chomping at the bit to let her and help her and encourage, that kind of thing. But for me, watching our athletes grow and watching our athletes take on the sport that they love to play is exciting. And we're able to give them that very, very large, very, very competitive platform to play a game that they love. And that's the great part about this, in the league that everyone has put together. A team works hard behind the scenes to make sure that everything's in place. And, these athletes are pretty serious, and they're awesome to watch play.
Yeah, I've seen them, and I wouldn't want to try to tackle any of them. I'm a little guy, but I wouldn't want to tackle any of them. Let's talk a little bit about who the sponsors are. Let's give them a little bit of a shout out, because these are no slouches, and these are not sponsors you haven't heard of. These are some big name sponsors. This just shows the significance of the sport and how it's really moved in a real positive direction for women's sports in general.
Absolutely, and we certainly appreciate their help. And we have some sponsors that have been with us for quite a while. Our biggest supporters are Adidas, Riddell, United Sports Brands, Vire, which I can talk about more momentarily. Commons is on board. All of those sponsors who've really seen our vision and seen what we want to put together, and know that these athletes deserve the time and effort that anyone else deserves to play the game they love. So, we thank those sponsors for sticking, for supporting us and seeing us, do our thing and put everything together. And certainly they'll be at the 9 Cup supporting as well. But they've been great partners of ours, and we certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, so if people if people are watching this, if they work for an organization, they can go to the website, WNFC.com, and donate or contribute, be a sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
let's talk about, I know you wanted to mention, I want to talk a little bit about streaming. Obviously, we're a streaming platform as well, but I want to talk about the coverage of the sport. If you can't make it to Frisco, Texas for whatever reason, say you have a wedding, a shower, but you want to check out, or a family event or whatever, you just can't make it because you can't get there. How can we check out the show? I was going to say the show, but it is a show in a way, right? How can you check out the event?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our games, not only the 9 Cup, but all of our games throughout the regular season are broadcast on BRN Network. It's an app you can download on your phone, your iPhone, Android, Roku devices, Apple TV, and you just download the app. There's the WNFC. It's fire.com/WNFC. And all of our games are on there. All of our games this season are on there, but we also broadcast those live every week on Saturdays. We have a production crew at every home game. And Bo, who does a great job with production, got to give him a shout out for putting all of it together. But we're fortunate enough to have a great production team and be able to broadcast those games live every week, which is pretty unique. And you know, if you miss a game and you want to go back and see it, you can still watch that in the library, the WNFC library. 9 Cup won't be any different. We'll be broadcasting those games. Vire will be there with us in person in Frisco in June, and looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, I mean, any sport has to have a production team and has to have a presence on streaming or social media, so people should certainly check it out. Janice, we're going to have to leave it there. Congratulations on the upcoming event. I know it's a couple months away. I know the ladies are training hard, and we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for your time and support.
And that wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to, drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the latest curated news in lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives? Check out our latest content. We'll visit our website and our streaming partners like Amazon, Roku, Samsung. There's over 100 to choose from. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN AM. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes. Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the first lifestyle and wellness network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.
Are you being audited? And do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Call 800-224-6439.